Hey, Max here with my good friend Anthony. Anthony,
What's up, everybody?
yeah, we're doing a few quick topics tonight. It's been a little bit slow. And if you are new to Movie Madness Entertainment, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for really hot topics in the entertainment industry. And that's where we're going to get to the first topic today is Snow White and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, right off the bat, this is where you're going to find a difference on this channel more so than other channels. And I have to say this, Anthony, both sides are driving me insane. And I know a lot of progressives hate the both sides talk, but what I'm saying is we have the anti-SJW'S, and then we also have the movie Simps. I love movies too. Max movies that were wasting time talking about the stuff that's really just culture war issues and people are not going to agree on. And we don't really talk about the real issues with this Snow White movie. Do you see what I'm saying with that a little bit, Anthony? We're wasting that I did not live stream today. I was so exhausted with the conversation about Snow White, about things like the race of Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot, the seven magical creatures that really, and then also thinking about Assassin's Creed Shadows. One of these projects is innovative, pushes the genre forward, and is extremely successful. And you know which one it is, right? Out of those two, Anthony, out of those two, out of Snow White and Assassin's Creed Shadows, one of them is innovative, pushing the genre forward, and is successful.
Assassin's Creed is the most.
Assassin's Creed, right? Assassin's Creed Shadow is, and really, if things are woke or if they're not, or if they're perceived woke or not, people that waste their time talking about both sides of that are just wasting your breath. You're not going to convince the other side. You stick your feet in the sand and stand your ground on these things. And I will give a shout out to Joe and Perp. We wasted so much time this week. Part of it was my fault, was self-inflicted wounds on my part. But we also got to get, if you really want, and I do really, Anthony, I don't go to the movies as much as Perp and Joe, but I care about the movie industry. I want people to succeed. I want Disney to succeed. I want people to have job security. Don't you?
Oh, yeah. If you keep movie theaters alive, it's more healthy.
Yeah. But at the same point, is it theater worthy for the general public besides the movie simps? Some people might like to be called movie simps. I have friends that love James Gunn and like to be called gun nuts, But this is not an innovative product. This was innovative for its day. Now, it might seem dated now. Some things might seem a little bit.
It was 1937, something like that.
But when this was released, this was the first, and I'll bring up a quick article. And can we really say anything? First off, is Snow White theater worthy for you, Anthony? Are you going to go to the theater to see it? Did you go to see it?
I haven't seen it yet. I heard there's some good parts in it and some bad parts in it, and stuff like that. But I'll check it out eventually. I don't know.
Eventually. Yes. Eventually.
But
so it's not theater worthy. Theater worthy is I gotta see this right away. I gotta see this right away, right? Yeah. There's none of that with this movie. I heard the best thing is Rachel Zegler. And Rachel Zegler, whether you like it or not, her comments on the press tour lost some money. Whether you think that should be a thing or not, it's the reality in 2025. On both sides of the coin, if you get political on both sides, it's going to cost money on the bottom line. It is. Unless you're Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey says the most anti-Trump stuff. He posts videos of him I actually saw a video this week of him blowing his nose in a tissue and smacking it on the TV. Do people not see Sonic 3 because Jim Carrey doesn't like Donald Trump? No. They go see Sonic 3 because he's really fun as Robotnik. You know,
He does the both. He does
yes.
both of them.
So
The last one he did amazing
and
playing
he
both
doesn't
characters.
need
Yeah.
a career right now. He said, "I'll retire." He is only coming back for money and because he likes that character, right?
Yeah, he likes it.
So
Which
I
a
would
lot of actors
encourage.
don't. Yeah.
I'm not telling people to shut up and act. I'm not, but I would say if you're going to get political, really put in the scales whether you want to be an entertainer or a political activist. And if you want to be an entertainer and have political activism, you better make sure you're the best actor on one of the best of the planet. I'm sorry. It's not gonna. Things are getting boycott on both sides of the political sphere right now, and it is costing the bottom line. But getting back to this and the lack of innovation in movies right now that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how when this first Snow White movie, live action remake, deserved a little bit better. And I haven't seen it for myself, but from everything I've heard and from the trailer, I'm allowed to make my judgments based on the trailer, whether I'm going to go see a movie or not, And based on the trailers, there was nothing that screamed to me, I have to see this opening weekend. And that's what you should get with the budget of Disney. Right, Anthony? Don't you think we should get that from the Snow White? Don't you think it should have been treated better where it should have had something to hook to the audience that says, I need to see this opening weekend?
270 million is not. Moving forward, they really have to think of how much these live action remakes is going to cost.
Well, you got to bring something fresh. That's all it is. Oh, yeah,
you have
can
to
you hear me okay?
Fresh.
I just realized my mic was far away.
No, it sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're going to do the next live action remake, which I think is Tango.
Yes. You got to make it feel fresh.
And you brought on the director who did I think Showman with Hugh Jackman and Zendaya, who is amazing.
And guess what? Yes, Rachel Zegler is like somewhat of a race swap, okay? But guess what? That's not this film's biggest problems from what I've heard.
It's not her. No,
for one
thing,
a good
job with the movie.
What's some of the best blockbuster movies of all time? Star Wars, Back to the Future, even this Snow White. What was great about it? Great villain with the evil queen. I'm sorry, Gal Gadot does not seem like she did. She hit it out of the park. She's not a great villain. If she was a great villain, people would be flocking. Oh wow, the evil queen was amazing.
No, every review I've read is just she's not that good.
Make villains great again. I know that might irk you by saying it. Make villains great again, and then it's going to transcend all this nonsense of either side. Well, the audience didn't like Rachel Zegler because she was a race swap. The people online are going to be loud about that, and people obsessed with that. I do question what's wrong with you. If you're that obsessed about her color of her skin, I really question what's wrong going on in your mind and how hateful you could be. Even if it's not your cup of tea, at least give it a shot, But the movie it seems really average. It seems really average release. There's nothing innovative. This, at the time it was released, was a benchmark for 2D animation, the first animated, widely released theatrical film. And can you name one thing that's innovative about this current release, Anthony?
I can't.
No. What are you doing while I'm filming, Callie? That was gross. No, I
can think.
I mean, even the Lion King remake they were pushing
the new technology
CGI,
with the lines. Yes, even with the new Mufasa, which did well at the box office and made back the money and did very well for Disney.
And you can't even say Seven Dwarfs anymore. I want to be respectful to little people. I don't want to be mocking little people, but that's part of the magic of this film. And then to get to my pal Perp and Joe's argument is we should want better projects for little people. And then they were applauded. I went back and watched the stream from Friday night a little bit, Anthony. I shouldn't have. But one of the talking points was to provide better opportunities for little people. And then they were applauding that there was a little person in the film, but there's also the CGI magical creatures. And I would ask them, do you really think that Bandit number 7 is a better opportunity for a little person than one of the iconic 7 dwarves? Sleepy, dopey, angry. I forget what they are. I forget what they are. I really don't. I don't believe it is. And to speak for little people and say, if they want to do it, I don't want to say they shouldn't be able to do it. And I do want more opportunities for little people. And what Peter Dinklage says, I agree with that part. I don't think they should be typecast. And now you might disagree with me on that part, Anthony. You're awfully quiet there. But I don't think that when you talk about better opportunities for little people, that a generic bandit as a little person is good for that actor more so than one of the most iconic 7 dwarves ever.
Me personally, I think they should have not been if you was gonna do a Snow White movie, it should have never been CG dwarves. It should have just been you cast 7. 7, yeah, I think 7, right?
Well, they were implying that even a dwarf is offensive to little people.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I mean, but I don't want to speak for little people. Maybe they don't have an issue with that, and it's not. I don't think it's directly. There's lots of fantastical creatures or fantastical characters in fiction that a person of a smaller stature is perfect for, and I think if we really want to be progressive, we don't want to assume that it's offensive to people because a regular sized person could play an elf with no issue, but because it's a smaller type of fictional character because we've got to a point where people want to be so progressive that there are not little people playing dwarves in all of fantasy right now. I don't think we're approaching it right. I think we want to be progressive and not hurt people's feelings, Anthony, and not mock people, which I agree with. But I think we've got to a point where it's actually hurting people in the industry that might want to go up for these roles. Like, for example, Rings of Power, most of those roles are played by regular sized people because I think it's backwards now, in my opinion. Now, I don't know. But anyway, that's my thoughts on this. I want to get back to the real issues with the Snow White release. And it's not woke, and I'm sorry, it's not so good that people didn't show up. I really don't believe that these, now I think with independent movies, Anthony, I think there is some movies that are really good and people don't go see. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think people should see more independent movies.
Yeah, sure. But if you're talking about IP films that have this instant install base and history surrounding them, in the backing of Disney and big budgets, I'm tired of these shit excuses. Are you with me, Anthony? Are you tired of these dumb excuses? Like, there shouldn't be a reason that this should just be average and not pushing the live action Disney movies further.
You could change stuff from the original to the remake for sure, but like you have to make the movie strong.
It has to be.
It has to be good for people to see it. Yeah.
Good is not good enough anymore.
Yeah.
If you Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. If you make a really good IP film, people will show up. It doesn't matter. People say Star Wars is dead all the time. People say DC's dead. People say the MCU's dead. If there's a great above average MCU movie, it's probably going to get $1 billion even now, right? If it's above average.
Or if it's above average.
Yeah, if it has a great villain, if it's above average, if the CG doesn't suck. Yeah, this is really not rocket science. You might get
600 million for sure.
Yeah, this isn't rocket science.
Now, if it's terrible, like if it wasn't good like Captain America, 4. It's going to make 400 million. Yeah,
and that's the nuance that I want to bring. There are movies that people don't support that are great.
Mickey 17.
Yeah. Okay, Mickey 17. Is that an IP film? No.
No, it's a great movie made by
right. But you're talking about, I'm sick of this excuses of these big IP blockbusters.
Yeah.
And the industry is not going to get any better if we keep giving excuses and just blame the audience.
It's not.
You didn't go support Snow White. You know what? I'm going to probably see Snow White next weekend or in the third weekend is like, just because I want to support Disney. Not that I feel like I should go, like I want to see it so bad. And because I do like Rachel Zegler.
Mm-hmm.
I want to support that. But I'm not like looking forward to it like, oh, I got to see this. It's just, I'm like, okay, I want to get back to the theater. I'd like to support this movie. It's not because it's not like when back in the day when I have to see this movie right away. It's so good. It's innovative. It's lacking innovation. It's not good enough. And it's not bringing people to the theater. You know what? You know what sold it to me on this? I asked my wife multiple times, you want to see Snow White with me? You know what she said, Anthony? No, I don't want to see it. My nieces aren't even talking about it. You know what my nieces are talking about? Mm-hmm. The new Lilo and Stitch, because the trailer looked above average, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, I mean, that's a movie from... Also, like, I don't think this younger generation know about Snow White.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's a big excuse, too, though, Anthony. I'm sorry.
No,
It doesn't matter. The trailer's good. They don't need to know about Snow White if the villain's good. I'm sorry. Yeah, besides the 7 magical creatures and not even be able to say 7 dwarves and then having a little person in it with I don't know for the whole context, but I'm pretty sure I'm right that this bandit number whatever is not a good character for that little person as playing one of these iconic 7 dwarves. I would love to ask the actor, would you like to be, is anyone going to remember? I don't even know I don't know if they name him or he's just some random bandit. And to say that's better for a little person, I don't know. I want to ask the little people community what they think. What's better for you, to play a random bandit or a little, fictional character that's named and has a history, has a lot of merch? Are they going to have Bandit number 7 merch at the Disney store based off that character? Probably not.
No, probably just
no. So I think progressives have lost their mind on this, and I think we're assuming and implying our new roles onto other people, and I think we shouldn't do that. I think we should hear people out, feel what they think, and maybe I'm wrong too. Maybe that actor, to be devil's advocate there, maybe I'm wrong too. Maybe that actor's like, I love being this bandit that probably has no merch and not, I don't even know. I'll have to research this bandit. I'm going to go to see Snow White, no subtitle, no 7 dwarfs, Snow White remake, to support this bandit, this little person, and to see if they have a better opportunity in that role than they would here, and to support Rachel Zegler. I'm sorry, I'm going on. Anthony, I'm in a mood this weekend, Anthony. I'm in a mood. This conversation about this movie, but really, I do want to. That Assassin's Creed Shadows looks amazing, and that's the difference. It's innovative. It's pushing the genre forward. The mechanics seem legit. I've seen all kind of gameplay clips. I don't see anything coming from Snow White that's like, wow, that's in this movie. But I do see that from the game, and I think that's the difference. All this war back and forth really doesn't mean anything.
It's not healthy because wow,
yeah.
Snow White didn't make enough money. Okay,
but if you start seeing some amazing clips from it, from like the evil queen being completely like nefarious, that would get people to the movie.
Yeah, no.
Like, wow,
Gal is just not a...
Yeah, and I mean, I won't know for sure until I see Gal's performance, but if the Gal's performance was... Here's what I do know. You shouldn't have to research further. The trailer should sell it to you. And if Gal's performance was so strong, they would have showed it in the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, if Gal is the evil queen, Gal Gadot performance was so strong, they would show it in the trailer. I really believe that, and I don't think you're getting that from there.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and also, like, these going forward, Disney has to rethink the live action remakes. Like, you don't spend a lot of money on it.
They don't need to I don't think they just need to do better quality and bring something innovative to it.
Yeah, like, you have to be like Lilo and Stitch. That did great, and people are gonna see that. Great. The next remake.
You know what I just spitballing. You know what I would have done to make this more progressive? I would have said, first of all, I would have checked with the little people community in Hollywood. I would have auditioned people, and I would have say, how can we make the 7 dwarves respectful to your community and make them even bigger characters?
Yeah.
In Snow White. That's what I would have done as a progressive. That's what I would have done for this movie. I would have said, how can we give you something more substantial? Maybe they save Snow White instead of a prince that wants to kiss her while she's sleeping. Maybe the dwarves are really heroic. I have to rewatch this too, because I don't remember even what happened with. I know the prince saves her, right?
I haven't watched that movie.
Yeah. So you don't know either. So that's what as a progressive, that's what I would have done. I would have made the 7 dwarves the stars of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even have called it Snow White. I would have called it the 7 little people. I don't know if dwarves is great. But, you know, to name it, 7 little people.
You know, the word dwarf sounds insensitive nowadays.
It sounds insensitive. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call. I don't know what to call them, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't use them. But I would have made them the stars of the live action. I would have given them more songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I would have done. But maybe I'm wrong. You could correct me in the comments section. I think I've ranted about this topic enough.
Yeah.
I just want better than good isn't good enough. I want better products in the theater, and I'm going to go back to the theater and review more, Anthony. And I know you care about the movie industry too, because you tweet about it a lot.
Oh yeah. Like hopefully, I want to see.
Yeah, but don't you want Snow White trailer to be so good that makes you want to go to the theater opening weekend?
For sure, yeah.
And it wasn't for you, right?
Yeah, like I didn't enjoy.
You said I'll see it eventually. You know how many times I saw that with this trailer? My wife didn't even say I'll see it eventually. She just said no.
Yeah, eventually.
She didn't say, well, we'll watch it on Disney Plus. My nieces aren't talking about this, and they're the target audience. My wife loves Disney. We went to Disney World on our 5th year anniversary.
That's great.
Yeah. My family that likes Disney, that's not into this stuff, is not interested. And I have to go out of my way to see this movie. And that's not the way it should be. All right, thanks for watching. I'll be going on it, and then I might as well have done a live stream at this point the way I've ranted on it. Okay, because it's not a success, unfortunately. It's not looking good, and that
Yeah.
And that's not good for anybody.
It's not looking good. Hopefully, Disney the next time do a good job and rethink of how to make the live action remakes villains good and stuff like that. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully they learn from this mistake. They did in the past with Dumbo when that movie didn't make money as well. And hopefully they got to rethink again with the villains. You have to do a good job with the villains and be
innovative and to bring something fresh.
Yeah, something fresh.
Because this is not fresh.
Yeah. Little Mermaid being the only decent one. Little Mermaid was decent. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Mufasa, it was okay. Okay. I haven't seen Snow White. But Mufasa and the Little Mermaid are the only 2 that's successful on this list.
And let's this is a call to movie talk fans. My friends that love movie industry so much, you're in a bubble. You're in a bubble, and the general public doesn't care. And scolding them that they're not seeing great movies. Scolding the general public that they're not supporting these movies is not going to get people back to the theater. Or that this 43% is actually really good and you're just not seeing it. That's not the answer either.
No,
We have to go back
critics, yeah.
to hard, constructive criticism of movie talk, Anthony. Are you with me? Hard, constructive criticism, and enough with this nonsense that's not convincing anybody anything.
It's just the general. I think the general audience just want to see good movies at the end of the day.
They want to see a theater-worthy movie. A theater-worthy. You know, like the Seinfeld, Sponge-worthy with Elaine? That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go back to doing movie reviews in the theater, and I'm going to say this is theater-worthy.
Like the general audience saw Little Mermaid in Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And saw Mufasa in December. And they made Mufasa thing ended up making.
Well, first of all, even though Mufasa wasn't my bag, the special effects were still pretty tight.
Yes, they're great.
The seven creatures that are in the movie that aren't even titled. They're not even on the title of the movie what they are. Mm-hmm. That's another problem. You can't even talk about what they are in the title of the movie, where that they were front and center in the first one. Yeah. Their special effects were pretty awful from the trailer. Mm-hmm. That was one of my major criticisms. But my two biggest criticisms were the way the seven creatures looked. Mm-hmm. They looked creepy, and Gal Gadot's evil queen.
Yeah.
This ain't it, Disney.
Right.
Okay.
Hopefully, Lilo Stitch is good, and every general audience see it.
And you know what? The trailer hooked me with Lilo and Stitch, and it was one of the most viewed Disney trailers of all time.
Yeah, number 3 for the remakes of them. I really don't count The Lion King. I really don't. Like they could really count it all they want, but I really just don't. Because this is like it's live action. It's like live action. I don't count it as animated like Lilo and Stitch. But it's whatever.
All right, well,